Power is never frantic, and action does not always equal effort. Today, we get to explore these two big ideas in relationship to work and your soul purpose. Hey, I'm Emily Clintworth. Welcome in. This week, Mars, the planet of action, and Pluto, the planet of power, are in a tense square aspect in the zodiac on Monday. They are both in fixed and very stubborn signs, Taurus and Aquarius. And the way I'm interpreting this conversation in the sky is that they are asking us to tend to aerate and look at power in action, in truth, rebellion against the norms. And a broad and universal statement that I truly believe to my core and every cell of my being is that every single person has a soul purpose. And if this is so true and so universal, then it begs to question, why am I constantly hired to help people determine their soul purpose? Why have I, when I was much younger, hired people and needed to hire people to help me figure out what my soul purpose is? And I think that it will always be a question in the heart of hearts of every being who ever exists. What is my reason for being here? Why do I matter? Do I matter? Do I even fit? Do I belong? I think that is the seed of humanity, finding your place in a world full of billions of beliefs and billions of ideas and billions of versions of truth. And we just so happen to live in this age passing between the age of Pisces and Aquarius, the age of religion, into the age of technology. And with that, soul purpose got marketed. It got branded. It got handed to the masses. I know because I was in my 14-year-old self wandering into Barnes and Noble, looking at the metaphysical section, like trying to find this great grand idea of my soul purpose. And that seeking is beautiful, but that seeking hides a truth that you never find a soul purpose like a destination. You just live it. And that is such a fucking annoying thing when you are on the search, the hunt for purpose of what to do with your life, of what to be in your life, of how to behave in your life. And soul purpose will never be one and done, find it and retire it. You think about Mars, this planet of action, in a tense alignment with Pluto, power and action, power and action. What is it that you have to take action to find, and what is inherently true? How do you gain power? How do you lose power? All the things that we constantly explore in the podcast, the themes of each of these individual planets. And it makes absolute sense that anyone would want to know why they're here. I can't imagine anyone not thinking about this, though I know that person exists as well. But the world has sold soul purpose like it's a destination. You arrive at, you discover, you proclaim, you build into your marketing that you have a very, a mission that never changes, and you must, attack soul purpose, which in fact is, to me, everything against it. If I were to dare, and I mean dare to frickin' try to explain what soul purpose is, it is very challenging. I think you could ask a lot of people, like, what do you think soul purpose is? And they'll trip on themselves. They'll know the word, they'll have the phrase, but they might not actually know what the heart of that is. And maybe it's like, oh, you live from alignment, or you do what you're meant to do, or you fulfill your destiny. I don't really think that. I think the soul purpose is so different. I think it's when you fall in love with your actual day of your life, like a whole day and all the parts in it. Your work, your mundane stuff, like doing laundry, picking up clothes, like making dinner, taking care of the yard. I think it's down to the people you interact with, your family, your partners, or everything. And I think it's so simple. And if someone can truly love their day, like every day, that would be someone who lives in soul purpose. And so that isn't one idea. That isn't one thing. That isn't saying soul purpose equals work, right? Which is the way it's been sold. But soul purpose, envelopes or infuses and comes into work. It is something you give to life, not something you take from life. And I get a little emotional talking about soul purpose because I work in this very sacred part of humanity and of each of us, of giving meaning to who we are, to our lives, to why we're here, to what we do. And meaning is invisible. Meaning is hanging within your own field. Meaning is something you can create and grow. And to see, this tense alignment between Mars and Pluto, it just reminds me of how performative soul purpose has unfortunately become. And there is no metric you can measure for soul purpose. It can't be measured. I think you could try to. I think you just could never. I think soul purpose is something you absolutely feel and know. And it radiates out of people. I think it is really like that beautiful intersection between the invisible world and the visible world, and people living in soul purpose is living in harmony. It is living in alignment. I'm not saying it's not any of those things. I'm just saying it's not one directional. It's not you find it, you're done, ha ha ha, stay with that forevermore and all is well, because it would never stick like that. In your astrological chart, it can clearly tell you the direction of your soul purpose. From my experience, this is one of the most accurate and helpful interpretations you could ever come into contact with your chart. The chart will reflect exactly what you already know. This is what's going to be frustrating and incredible and fun about it. The chart likely will not tell you something you didn't know. Every time I do this interpretation, people know it. It's just that they didn't believe it. They didn't think it mattered. They didn't have any validation in their life to follow it. But deep, deep, deep down, they knew it. That interpretation is where the sun is located in your astrological houses. That is the direction of your soul purpose according to astrology. Now, why does it happen that I could tell someone their soul purpose and they still don't know what the fuck to do next? So the thing is you're going to hear it and it can be validating, but it doesn't hand you a blueprint. Astrology doesn't take away the free will of how you would express that, what you would do with that, how you would show up with that. So when we go in there and you interpret and you get to know what house the sun is in, know that you're staring at the tiny little seed of what could be, that you're staring at a sort of mirror that's saying, here is a seed that looks small that is very, very big. Here is a seed that you cannot possibly comprehend would grow out of it if you move to it. And then if you feel in the core of your being that's the very thing that you've wanted, but you're scared of it, you're afraid of it, you don't know how, well, then that's the sign that it is the right direction. You grow into it. A seed, think of the acorn. I mean, it's going to sprout. It doesn't become the tree and the fruit and all the things in a moment. Everything takes time. Everything takes development. Because if the sun represents the soul purpose and I told you to physically start walking towards the sun right now, what would you do? Well, I mean, the first thing is you would just kind of follow the sun over Earth and you would walk towards it. And that would seem sensible because you would be in the light, moving towards the light. But soon you would find out that just chasing light around every day didn't really get you anywhere. And then you would get pissed enough, maybe, resourceful enough, try to build yourself a spaceship and fly towards the sun. And guess what? Then you get all consumed and burned up on your way. And the sun is a metaphor for how people find the soul purpose is so powerful, because when you attempt to connect with your soul purpose, you likely will chase light and get nowhere. And then you likely will try to do things by brute force and, spaceship yourself there overnight. And then you're going to blow up and it's not going to work. So what is that middle place? I don't know the answer for you. But I know that in your chart, that every seed that you begin to work with, every time that you take a step towards what is there, something very beautiful happens in an unfolding. There's a reason why the ancient astrologers connected so much to the sun. And it wasn't just to try to predict and control, it was to try to understand and to witness how humanity grows and evolves and how soul purpose gives meaning. So go ahead, and if you haven't already gotten your natal chart navigator, you can download it for free off of my website. I have the link below. I also have the AI prompt that will get you into the chart to explore this interpretation through my unique lens, through the way I would interpret for you if I was there in the room, able to read your chart. Take your time. Try to sit with ideas and meditate on them this week. This is really what it's all about. It's about taking this tense square and changing internally. Because tenseness usually gets people to run, avoid, jump ship, go take an immediate action, and then end up right where they started. But when you can sit in the tension, you all of a sudden start to relieve something that you didn't even know was causing the tension in the first place. So enjoy the prompt, and I'll see you next week.